Hey everyone, Mtashed here, and today we're going to be looking at Sweet Business, which is the Gatling gun of Destiny 2. With Sweet Business, if you hold down that trigger, you're going to get increased range, you're going to start shooting faster, and you're going to unload over 99 bullets at your enemy. If you walk over ammunition, it'll actually go directly into the magazine, so you can kind of charge forward into enemies, holding down that trigger and shooting, and if you pick up ammo along the way, that rate of fire, that bullet hell that you're sending towards them is going to continue. It's also got high caliber rounds to help flinch your opponents. It's got a polygonal barrel. Wow, so fucking good. And it's got payday. So, this large magazine, 99 bullets, has increased accuracy when firing from the hip. I wouldn't recommend firing from the hip with the Sweet Business. I think it's better to ADS so you can land your crits, but you can do it if you really wanted to and enemies close the gap on you. So is Sweet Business any good? It's pretty good. Now, the footage that I'm using an exotic for the Titan called Actium War Rig. So, as I'm shooting this gun, it is randomly adding ammunition back into the magazine. That is the only way I would recommend this weapon long term. You could also use it if you were using something like the Knucklehead radar on the Hunter, so you have your radar up. But overall, I think Sweet Business is very, very average. The damage that it outputs is decent. But without Actium War Rig, I think it's a very low tier exotic. Honestly, like a 2 or 3 out of 10 at best. However, when you throw in Actium War Rig, you make the magazine about 172, which drastically increases the effectiveness of this weapon. Is it a top tier exotic then? Maybe not. It's still probably like a 7 out of 10 at best. When you add the Actium War Rig in, you can throw a ton of bullets towards an enemy, but they hit quite low. Overall, it doesn't feel extremely powerful even when you're nearly doubling the magazine size. So, while Sweet Business is a cool character exotic, you know, something fun, something unique to use, it's not really a top tier in PvE. If you start throwing in things like Empowered Rift, as well as the Lunafaction boots that are going to reload your magazine when you step into it, you can run into some cool situations where you're going to put out a bunch of damage. If nothing else, you can be the absolute crowd control king because you never have to stop shooting, but I'm not going to be using this exotic over many others in PvE. Well, how about PvP? Is it any good? And to that I would say, not really. You can kind of hard scope lanes, pre-fire it, and you can kill people with it. You can be quite annoying with it, but I wouldn't say this is a top tier weapon either. This one, in my opinion, when used absolutely perfectly with Actium War Rig, is honestly about a 5, maybe even a 4. There were a lot of situations where even when I was pre-firing this weapon and getting it to ramp up, people would push in with things like the Last Dance or Last Hope sidearms and destroy me before I could kill them. So, while I think this has a use in PvP, it's, once again, just kind of a trolly, fun exotic to use. It's not going to be the best, but it isn't terrible. There are some situations where this absolutely shines. If you're defending a zone and there's only 1 or 2 choke points to get in there, you can just shoot down it and not let them come through. There are ways that you could defend crests in Supremacy by just aiming down a hallway and holding down the trigger. And when you've got 172 bullets and people hear this stream of death, then they're not going to go down that hallway, for the most part, unless they're an idiot and want to die. So, I think Sweet Business has value here and there. I think it's fun here and there, but I'm not going to be blowing my load. Oh my god, look at the damage! I've got 170 bullets. One little tip I do have for you is if you're using Actium War Rig, you can kind of keep shooting it and keep the speed up a little bit, and you'll actually out-reload the amount of ammo that you're using. So if you're using Actium War Rig, you can actually keep it up while moving around the map. It's not perfect, but it's enough that you can get a slight advantage over other people that are using Sweet Business. Just kind of like this. You're gonna keep tapping that trigger, and you're gonna keep that ammo count quite high, and for the most part, up to the kind of max capacity so that when you do see someone, you can just rip their face off. So that's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review, and I will see you soon. Are you kidding me? Nerf that gun, you pussies!